What's going on, everybody? Dallas again with Chaos Fragrances. Today we're back with another video. This time we're going to be doing another one of those battle videos. Last time I did a video between a lot of the popular fresh fragrances like Sauvage, Atlantique Dome Blue, Bleu de Chanel, all those fragrances. A lot of you guys really seem to like that type of format, comparing a whole bunch of fragrances like that. And we're going to be doing something similar. This time we're going to be comparing a bunch of different fragrances, all from the same fragrance line, from the same fragrance house, and that is going to be all of the DIOR Homme fragrances. So we're going to be comparing DIOR Homme, DIOR Homme Intense, DIOR Homme Parfum, and DIOR Homme EAU. Now I'm leaving the sport fragrances out of this battle. I'm going to be doing a whole separate video on the three different sport flankers, the three different versions, comparing those. I'll do that later. I'm just gonna be focusing on all of the DIOR Homme fragrances with the prominent iris note, because they all are a lot more similar than they are with DIOR Homme Sport. God, these fucking bugs. Get the fuck out of here. So let's go and start things off with DIOR Homme EAU. Now this one is the freshest out of all of these. This one is also probably the safest out of all of them. It still has the very prominent iris note, but it has a little bit of a peppery vibe, and it's got just a little bit more citrus. And this one is definitely more suited for daytime working. If you work in some sort of office, you have some meetings to go to, things like that, this one would be perfect for that during the day, because it just has this kind of fresh, soapy, clean vibe. It's a fresh take on iris, and it makes it a lot more easy to wear, makes it a lot more mass appealing. Now this one often gets compared to Prada L'Homme. I prefer this one over Prada L'Homme just because this one's cheaper, can be found easier, and this one was actually out first, and I just like this one better. It performs better on me. This one does perform really well on me. It lasts me about 8 hours each time. Projection is pretty good. It starts to sit a little bit closer to the skin after a while, but really for what this is, I think the performance for this is perfect. It's just a great office scent, perfect, fresh, clean, and really you can't go wrong with it. Just a great one. Like I said, it's a fresh take on iris. It's the freshest out of all of these. It's also the most easy to wear, the most versatile of all these, and the most crowd pleasing, I guess you could say. So that is DIOR Homme EAU. All right guys, up next we have DIOR Homme. So this one is slightly fresh. All right, it's not as fresh as DIOR Homme EAU, but it's not as sweet as DIOR Homme Intense, which we'll get to in a minute. But this one is slightly fresh. It has the iris, it has the cacao, has a little bit of leather. To me, this one is also more suited for the daytime. If you're wearing a suit, any sort of formal situation during the day, say you have like a nice lunch to go to or something. Because like I said, it is slightly fresh, not as much as DIOR Homme EAU, but is there. I'd pick this one if you want something that's a little bit more daring, a little bit more smooth and creamy, just something a little bit more sweet. I would go with this one. Like I said, this one kind of has a little bit more of the lipsticky vibe that the DIOR Homme fragrances are known for because of the iris. Like I said, the DIOR Homme EAU, a little bit more fresh take on iris, but this one does have a little bit more of that creamy kind of sweet iris that does kind of get compared to a makeup bag, a lipsticky smell. I really don't get that. I mean, I see why people say that, but personally I like that. I like the iris in these, and this one is really nice, slightly fresh, just a little bit more daring than DIOR Homme EAU, and a great one. It's a good one if you want to kind of get into the DIOR Homme line and you want to skip the really fresh DIOR Homme EAU and get something that is a little bit more daring, a little bit more unique. So that is DIOR Homme. All right guys, now we're getting to the good stuff. We have DIOR Homme Intense. So this one, sorry, my bottles are still fogging up. So this one is a lot more sweet. This one is definitely more for your evening wear, your dressed up evening wear. Honestly, this one is one of my favorites out of all of these. It's just so nice. It kind of has this slight chocolatey vibe, even though there isn't chocolate in it, but when you smell it, you'll know what I mean. It just kind of has this almost chocolatey smell. Personally, I really like this scent. I still remember the first time I smelled it, it just blew me away. Had to get a bottle of it, and it's just amazing stuff. It's a little bit more sweet. It doesn't really have the slight freshness that the other ones had. This one is definitely more for evening, like I said, and this one is a little bit more daring than the other two. It kind of gets more daring as we go on, as you'll probably have noticed, but this one, like I said, very nice, more for evening in my opinion. Also, I think it's a really good date fragrance. Just has this nice cozy effect to it that just kind of draws people in, makes them want to smell it more. And it's nothing that's too harsh when you smell it up close, and it's just, again, it has the prominent iris note, sweetened up, less fresh. Just amazing stuff guys, really nice. Definitely probably one of my favorite date fragrances now. I think I might prefer this one over La Nuit, Really, it's kind of a toss-up now between this and Aventus as my favorite date fragrances, both for different times of the year. Aventus more for summer, this one more for colder weather, but you can wear either whenever. But anyways, this very nice stuff, a little bit more sweet, more daring, and just amazing. You gotta check this out, Dior Homme Intense. All right guys, last one we have Dior Homme Parfum. Now from what I have seen, I think this one is discontinued along with Dior Fahrenheit Les Parfums. I do believe those are discontinued, which is really a bummer because this stuff pretty much masterpiece. Dare I say it is a masterpiece. Honestly, I think the same with Dior Homme Intense. I just hate throwing that word around everywhere, but honestly, it's a masterpiece to me, guys. It's just, now the main note in this one that I get anyway is the leather. Iris is still there, it's still very prominent, but really what I love about this one is the leather. You have iris, you have the leather, you also have a little bit of rose and a little bit of oud, and that kind of gives it this nice, can't get the cap off, lightly animalistic kind of smell, but not really. It just, again, kind of has that cocoa chocolatey vibe. Just amazing smelling stuff. I know this one's kind of love or hate. There's some really good reviews on this one, there's some really bad reviews. Personally, I love it. I loved it the second I smelled it. Really glad I have a bottle, and it's just amazing stuff, guys. This one is for your really dressed up situations. This will be for when you're feeling really daring, because it is still very similar to Dior Homme Intense, but just like with that oud, with that amped up leather, it is a little bit more unique. This would be my go-to for winter days when it's really cold, you know, you're dressed up. This one I probably wouldn't choose for dates as much as I would Dior Homme Intense, because like I said, this is a little bit more special. But honestly guys, just amazing stuff. This seriously is like niche quality stuff right here, just amazing. So this one I would pick if you want something that is the most daring out of all of them. That is, if you can still find this. Honestly, if you love Dior Homme Intense, there's a pretty good chance you're gonna like this one too, although some people say they hate it while loving Dior Homme Intense. Personally, like I said, I love it. This is probably my favorite one, Dior Homme Intense coming in close second, but just amazing stuff. So pick this one if you want something that's going to be the most daring out of all of them. Also the longest lasting. This stuff is a beast, lasts a really long time, projects pretty good. I just, like, when I first got it, I did like half a spray on my arm and it just lasted forever. It just projected pretty good with that little half spray. So just amazing stuff. My batch on this, by the way, is 7Q02, which is like a 2017 batch. I heard people say is reformulated. But this one, like I said, still amazing performance, amazing smell, just amazing stuff, guys. So if you can find a bottle, if you can find some way to get this, I definitely recommend it. I don't want to say you should blind buy it, because I know people probably aren't going to like it and they're going to get mad and say, why did you make me blind buy this? But honestly, just amazing stuff. So pick this one if you want the most daring, the most unique, and really out of all of them, the most just niche smelling. So guys, that is my take on all four of those fragrances. I'm going to quickly run through them real quick again. Dior Homme EAU, that is going to be your really fresh, clean office scent, just fresh, soapy, clean, inoffensive. Pretty much anyone can pull it off. Really could be kind of your entry level into the Dior Homme fragrances. Personally, that was my first Dior Homme fragrance that I got. Yeah, it was, and it really kind of made me start to like that iris note. So really, Dior Homme EAU, perfect entry level into this line if you want to get your feet wet, but you don't want to go with that full-on lipsticky iris note. Definitely check out Dior Homme EAU. Dior Homme, that one will be, again, another good entry level one if you kind of want to skip that soapy, fresh, clean smell. Like I said, it is a little bit more creamy, a little bit more powdery, and really just another great one, more for the day, but could also be worn in the night. Dior Homme Intense, that one is, you know, great for dates, great for evening wear when you're really dressed up. Dior Homme Parfum, that one is your really daring, niche quality smelling juice that lasts a really long time, just great stuff. Like I said, it is more daring. It's not something I would recommend you blind buy. If you're looking to get into the Dior Homme fragrances, I would not start with Dior Homme Parfum. In fact, I would go, like I said, the opposite direction, just because if you haven't really smelled the iris and the kind of leather combo that these have, you may be off-put by it. But if you kind of start out, you know, Dior Homme EAU, and you work your way up, you'll probably appreciate Dior Homme Parfum a lot more when you do smell it. But like I said, if you start out with like Dior Homme Parfum, you're probably going to be possibly off-put. It really just depends. But anyways, guys, that is my take on all of those. Hopefully this helps you guys out if you're trying to get into some of these fragrances. Personally, this has probably become my favorite fragrance line. Just amazing stuff. You know, you can have a fragrance for every occasion with these, and they're all relatively affordable. I mean, retail is pricey, but a lot of these I found for really good deals online. You can watch my last haul video where I picked actually I think 4 of those up, and I got them all for well under retail, really good prices, so check that out if you want to know. But those are all amazing fragrances. I'm going to be doing a video on DIOR HOMME Sport, comparing the 2008, 2012, and 2017 versions. That'll be coming up at some point, so definitely keep an eye out on that. But anyways, guys, that is my video. Hopefully this helps you guys out, kind of give you an idea of which ones you want to try. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe, turn on post notifications so you don't miss when I post, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.